by Progressive. Lights are out here at the Farrell Center, and you're watching Big 12 basketball on ESPN. And we get a good matchup here. The #1 team in the country, the Baylor Bears, in action. They're 13-0 as they will take on the Oklahoma Sooners. Each team 1-0 so far in conference play. As we welcome you courtside, John Shambi and Fran Fraschilla, the Baylor Bears, the defending national champs. And Fran, they haven't lost this year. They're really good again.
Hard to think they could be even better than that historic team a year ago, but it's not going to surprise me, John. They're led by two newcomers. First, James Akinjo started at Georgetown. Then last year at Arizona, he was an all Pac-12 player. He has fit in like a glove after they lost three great guards to the NBA. And then Kendall Brown. Scott Drew lost a tight end to the NFL and Mark Vital, but he's replaced him with an outstanding freshman who probably is not going to be in Waco very long.
And meanwhile, in this conference, so much depth, so much talent, and Oklahoma off to a great start, and their head man, a new coach, Porter Moser, comes from Loyola Chicago. Obviously success there, the Final Four in 2018, but taking over for Lon Kruger.
Well, Lon Kruger's a Hall of Famer. He took Oklahoma to a Final Four. He retires, and Porter Moser has that Final Four resume as well. Joe Castiglione has made a great hire, and they've got a transfer in Tanner Groves. The last time you remember him, he almost knocked off Kansas in the NCAA tournament playing at Eastern Washington. He and his brother Jacob are now members of the Oklahoma Sooners.
Well, Tanner, one of the guys that missed their last game, they eked out a win against Kansas State. And for more on that, we welcome in the third member of our team and say hi to Chris Budd.
The good news for the Sooners is that they do get Tanner Groves back, their leading scorer, missed the last game under COVID protocols. But when you combine that with the Christmas break, it has been 14 days since he last played a game. He told me he feels 100%, and while he had to be in quarantine, he was able to take walks outside, but there hasn't been much activity. Got back to practice yesterday. The concern for him, Boog, obviously, is the endurance now that he's playing at game speed, how much he will be able to go today.
And obviously, Tanner Groves had that amazing performance in the NCAA tournament against Kansas, a career-high 35 points, and they're going to need all of him here tonight against a really good Baylor team. So Groves and Thamba set to jump it up. Kip Kissinger will toss it in the air. Ready to roll here in Waco. Baylor controls, and we're underway.
This team has 8 starters, John. They are a deep team, much like they were a year ago.
Great athleticism. One thing they don't do, they don't get to the free throw line a ton, but wow, do they defend. Akinjo, little floater, got it.
Well, you said floater. We watched him before and after the shoot-around work on that. And these Baylor guards have always put that time in that mid-range, that high paint area.
And meanwhile, for Oklahoma, I mean, you're talking about Porter Moser taking over a team. It started, he had 3 players back, and he had to figure out a way to put a roster together. Good look, corner 3, and Goldwire knocks that one down. The Duke transfer, Jordan Goldwire.
And he had a really good senior year for Mike Krzyzewski. He played with a lot of good players, and exactly the kind of transfer Porter Moser wanted to get to Norman. He's been a good addition.
Adam Flagler off the glass and good.
You've heard me say this before, John. Those kids, those guards have a love affair with the backboard. That backboard softens your shot on the move, and they know how to use that backboard expertly.
On the baseline, and then a kick out to Hill.
Nice pass.
Good look as Gibson finds Groves for his first deuce.
Yep, and Mo Gibson back home in Waco University High School. Off to North Texas with Grant McCaslin, and now been a really good player for the Sooners for 3 years.
And Porter Moser just raved about him being such a gym rat. There's Flagler again, and both teams perfect from the floor.
Remember, Adam Flagler came off the bench last year, backing up the trio that is off to the NBA now. Oh, nice.
And one, and Hill will go to the line.
Well, what you've seen in the first 2.5 minutes from both teams is excellent offensive execution. Watch the back cut right there. If you notice where Groves is, John, they're going to play 5 out all night long and spread the floor and give themselves a chance to cut like that.
So here's Jalen Hill, good free throw shooter. I put the whammy on him immediately, huh?
Yeah.
Harkless kick out now, Goldwire. 1-point game here in the early going. Gibson will try. And Baylor back the other way. The Bears unbeaten and coming off a good test on the road in Ames. You called that one.
Yeah, it was a fun game. Only 3 unbeaten teams left in college basketball. Watch out.
Akinjo knocks down a 3.
Last 5 games, John, 18 points, 6 assists, shooting over 40% from 3. He is exactly what Scott Drew needed in losing the 3 guys, Mitchell and Teague and Butler, to the NBA. Perfect fit.
Groves looking over the top of Thamba, backing down, double team comes. And they go possession arrow, it'll stay with the Sooners.
Sooners swarming, but let's go back and watch James Akinjo. Young man who was the Big East Rookie of the Year, transferred to Arizona, played for Sean Miller, and Sean Miller convinced Scott Drew that he would fit right in this basketball culture.
He gives them an edge, no question about it. And one. And Mo Gibson able to get it to go, and he'll go to the line.
About 7 years ago, this young man was a freshman at University High School right here in Waco. He was 5'9", about 125 pounds. And again, Grant McCaslin, who was a terrific assistant here, doing a great job at North Texas, brought him up to Denton, and then he stayed on I-35 a little while, and he is a good player coming back home.
A Waco kid, and he's excited about the chance to play here.
Go ahead and jinx him, 93%.
Yeah. Oh, almost. So the Sooners by a point. They're just getting started. John Chambee, Fran Fraschilla, Chris Button here in Waco, the Farrell Center.
Sooners have 2 excellent defenders in that lineup, Harkless and Goldwire.
Pryor lost the handle. Sohan got it back. Pryor couldn't hit. And now it's Jalen Hill. That one knocked away. Pryor tried to save it, couldn't do it. And it's Sooners basketball.
Great hustle by L.J. Cryer, the young man from Katy, Texas, Morton Ranch High School, 5th all-time leading scorer in the state of Texas.
And he is their leading scorer, and he comes off the bench.
Last year, John, he played, I don't know, he scored 50 points maybe the whole year. He scored 3,500 points, almost 3,500 in high school. Well, I mentioned the defense. I think with Chamwa Chachua and Akinjo, Harkless, and Goldwire, that's 4 of the best defenders in the league in this game tonight.
Bijan Cortez will check into the game for the Sooners. So he, along with the 2 Groves brothers, had to sit their last game. So they're kind of back more at full strength right now.
And beat Kansas State without those 3 guys.
Chachua looking for some help, gives it off Harkless. And now the shot clock's under 10. Harkless, little Euro step, lost the handle. Pryor hoists and can't hit.
Got an injury. I think Matt Meyer got hit in the eye.
Our first media timeout, and the Sooners on the road and leading by a point. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. Visit progressive.com. And in part by the Sonic Patty Melt for a limited time only at Sonic.
Welcome back, Oklahoma up by 1. Matt Meyer just taken out of the game because when he got hit in the mouth, a tooth actually came out. He's in the locker room right now trying to figure out what they're able to do in terms of with the tooth and getting him back out here. As soon as I know more, I'll let you know.
Ouch. Jeremy Sohan, his teammate, with the elbow there, and he went sprinting to the locker room. So hopefully he's all right. Baylor down a point. And for a Baylor team, they're the national champs. We get a chance, you were here for it, to watch them on this court beat Villanova. I mean, just strangled them defensively.
They did. John, they're good on both ends of the court. Top 5 in offense, top 5 in defense. Have all the ingredients.
Goldwire finds Harkless. Chagua inside short. And eventually it ends up Akinjo.
And this is the engine right here, James Akinjo. I describe him, John, as a Kyle Lowry type. He's got that just great Oakland toughness.
John Chachua, jumper, got it.
He's improved in that area. He's made some threes this year. Scott Drew has given him a little bit of license to make those perimeter shots. And when a kid plays that hard for you, you want to try to reward him and expand his game. Good addition right there. Chagua, the young man who
no doubt
I watched play 4 years at SMU, and he's a Tulsa kid who came home and took advantage of that super senior year. Tulsa Union.
Chachua handling, flips down. And that jumper too strong from Jeremy Sohan, and then a foul underneath. And they'll get that on Goldwire. Reminder, we have ACC college hoops, a matinee for you coming up. North Carolina and Virginia. That's Saturday at 1 Eastern. Saturday showcase coverage begins at 1 on ESPN and the app, One App, One Tap.
Our buddy Hubert Davis off to a 2-0 start in ACC play. We got a chance to watch them over at Mohegan Sun in November. Yep. Guy used to be such a nice guy. Now he's just a madman on the sideline.
He is.
Whatever happened? Whatever happened to those coaches that act that way?
Akinjo gives it up. And now Cryer.
Only kidding, Hubert. We love you.
That one rattles off and out of bounds, and it's Baylor basketball.
John, what I enjoyed about today's shoot-arounds is both teams are what I call great scouting report teams. They not only know their stuff, but they know your stuff too. And both teams are trying to take away your strengths.
Porter Moser, very detail-oriented.
Yep, because of his time with Rick Majerus. Look at this left hand. Yep.
That's Akinjo with the deuce.
Oh, yeah. It's part of the repertoire that he's developing here. He made 3 of those on Saturday off the glass. And again, they're so proficient in that area.
That one off the mark from Chagua. And Akinjo with 7 points leads him the other way. And a little bump, and they get Goldwire with that foul.
This is a terrific young player, and John, the thing that I love about him is Sean Miller, the former coach at Arizona who recruited him, called Scott Drew. They had about 3 or 4 phone calls, conversations, and Sean Miller said, "You will not regret taking this young man. He will be a great replacement for Teague and Mitchell and Butler," and he is right on the money.
First team all Pac-12, and you mentioned also the Big East Freshman of the Year. If Sean had stayed, he would have stayed.
I don't think there's any question. Yep.
Cryer buries that one.
The backcourt, not quite as good, but with the 2 freshmen on the wings, the big guys inside, this is a good team.
Chagua gets it out of trouble. Now Gibson. Shot clock under 10. Shagwa jumper, got it. That's a 3, and that's big. Ethan Shagwa, the SMU transfer.
That time, Porter Moser liked that shot by Shagwar. The earlier one he thought was too quick. Good ball movement.
Mid-range jumper at Akinjo, and that'll go.
You know, I said that this backcourt's not as good as the one that left, and that's only because that was a historic trio. You know, one of the best maybe in the last 20 years in college hoops. These guys are awfully good.
Down low, and Hill wide open, throws it down.
Jalen Hill from Nevada is only a junior now, one of the most improved players in this league.
And a jumper right there for Flagler, and Baylor right back, and they have a 3-point advantage.
I think we've just said Akinjo, Cryer, Flagler, right?
Yep.
They've been listening to me. Nice pass.
And that's Hill for another stuff.
Sooners have really taken it to Baylor in terms of attacking that half-court defense.
Akinjo and Flagler with 15 combined. That time, Chamwa Chachua with the bucket. Timeout, Baylor. Well, the Bears, fresh off a national title, and they're unbeaten this year. We'll take a look back. What a season it was for Scott Drew and company. Go, and Baylor, the Bears winning it all, losing just twice the entire year, knocking off Gonzaga in the national championship. First national championship in school history for the men's basketball team. 7 straight wins against AP top 10 teams. Absolutely incredible. And then you think about one of 3 teams with a national title and only 2 losses. You got to go back to Kentucky 96, Duke in 92. And you look at, I mean, the year overall for their athletic program, men's basketball, women's basketball, football program.
What a great job Dave Aranda did just winning the Sugar Bowl. They were 2-7 last year. It's a renaissance at Baylor, there's no question. And give credit to Mac Rhodes, the athletic director, who hired the football coach. Good cut there. Right now, John, one of the things the Sooners do really well is there's always at least one, and most of the time 2 cutters to the basket anytime someone has the ball. And I think Scott Drew called that timeout because, quite frankly, they've carved this Baylor defense up so far.
Meyer being harassed, floats that pass. And some body language there from Porter Moser. Meyer tried to flip it inside to Flo Thamba. Pass intercepted. Baylor gets it back. There's Meyer, he puts it in.
He's not scoring like he did in the past, but we saw this Saturday. He has become a more complete player. He'll defend on one end. He's a playmaker. He's a 39% shooter last year, not so much this year. But he's really improved his all-around game. That's the guy.
That'll be a turnover.
Watch this, John. He just got his tooth knocked out. And makes the bad pass here, but watch him just stay with it. Misses it, stays with it, and finishes. And he's been that kind of effort, energy guy on both ends this season.
Let's go over to Chris.
You can see him with the mouth guard in. He actually got half the tooth knocked out, and there wasn't anything they could really do to help it. So put a mouth guard in, and then they'll deal with the half of the tooth later on this evening.
All right. Flagler gets bumped. Adam Flagler absorbing the contact. You mentioned those guards last year. Jared Butler, Maceo Teague, Davion Mitchell. They all could get their own offense.
Yeah.
I mean, Mitchell was a monster defensively, and the other 2 guys would guard you too. The impact that they had was incredible. They're gone, and yet here they are. This group defends, and they get offense as well.
I don't think they have anybody as dominating defensively as Davion Mitchell, who was the National Defensive Player of the Year, but they added Sohan and Brown at 6'8" and 6'9" to the wings, plus Thamba and Everyday John inside. And to your point, the 3 guards left behind are not chopped liver defensively either. I think they've got 8 starters, and we said that a year ago.
I mean, cut to the chase, though. A repeat in terms of winning the national title. That is realistic.
It is. I think there's 8 to 10 teams. This is a year with a lot of veteran players in college basketball because of the super seniors and Gonzaga, UCLA on a pause, Villanova, Duke, obviously, Purdue, who lost last night. Yeah, but I think it's realistic to think this team could get back to a Final Four and anything can happen. They don't beat themselves.
Cortez gets inside, probing, gives it off. Groves flips it up and in.
Pretty. Tanner Groves, he had 1 scholarship offer. Grew up in Spokane, the local school, EWU, Eastern Washington. And made himself into a player and a name in the NCAA tournament.
Flagler off the glass, wouldn't go. And it's Baylor basketball.
This guy is, he's not Cameron Krutwig, who played for Porter Moser on those Final Four teams at Loyola, but he's very similar in that regard. He's a big guy that can handle the ball and shoot it.
Headband and beard, and might remind you of another guy out in Spokane and Drew Timme. Just the way the way he operates in that painted area.
I thought you were going to say Will Ferrell. That's where I thought you were going.
You want Jackie Moon?
Jackie Moon.
Okay. Direct all tweets at Fran Fraschilla.
Oh, I get enough.
Yes, you do. Fair enough.
Look at that. Look at this.
Buries it straight on.
They are fun to watch. Both teams have really executed offensively.
Flagler with 11, Baylor by 6. We close in on 9 to go. Bijan Cortez has had a nice first half, and as I say it, a turnover. The other way, look out, Brown, the finger roll. Timeout Sooners. The lead is 8. Baylor unbeaten at 13-0.
Championship, the Baylor Bears.
It's insane. It's having 2 great programs.
That's what they want to know. Are you going back to back?
I'm going to be critiqued maybe more than any other women's coach in America.
And again, our time. The Baylor women's and men's basketball programs will be in the hunt for national titles. ESPN Plus, where you can check it out.
Yeah, we talked about Kendall Brown. We talked about Jeremy Sohan. And we just saw Kendall Brown in transition. Outstanding defender, one of the best high school players in the country from Minnesota. We saw Kennedy Chandler earlier in the year. High school teammate at Sunrise Christian. Shooter.
C.J. Nolan here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I like this kid, man. I like this kid. He's from Waxahachie, about 30 minutes north of here. He looks like he should be playing for Brent Venables, but he was a really good high school player. And coming off a career high against Kansas State, 10 points.
Akinjo gets into the paint, kick out, Flagler. That one short. And inside. And they get the foul on Groves. I believe they did. Yep.
He's in there wrestling with Flo Thamba. And Flo has become a huge factor in this team's success quietly. Great size, rebounder, screener. And he started every game a year ago in the national championship team.
Ethan Chagwa checks back in as Tanner Groves grabs the seat, and Jacob Groves into the game. And they get the bump there on C.J. Nolan.
Oklahoma foul, number 22, C.J. Nolan. His first personal.
I think C.J. was number 100 in ESPN's top 100. He just slid into that list.
Yeah, C.J. Nolan was actually recruited by Baylor to play football
No surprise. Waxahachie.
Flagler up and under and puts it in.
Remember, another of those transfers. He started at Presbyterian, and another kid with only one Division I offer coming out of high school.
Yeah, to travel, they got Jaguar. Baylor leading by 8, 7:49 to go here, first half. Adam Flagler with 13 points. He's been great, Fran Fraschilla.
Bad news for Porter Moser. Why? Because in a year and a half, when Adam Flagler gets 10 or more, the Bears are 22-0. He's got 13 tonight, John. Should we just go home?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
Okay.
yet. Well, one of those games where he had double figures, the win against Villanova. Remember, that was their toughest, arguably toughest NCAA tournament game that they had to play, and Flagler in that one had 16 points in that Sweet 16 win. Remember, they were down at the half.
They were down big at the half, double figures, came back and won, and just annihilated Villanova in here in December. Key now for Oklahoma is spread the floor and get those guys cutting and allow Groves to be the facilitator.
Now, Porter Moser was saying you can't turn the ball over. That hasn't really been a part of this first half. Only 5 so far.
I remember the one that led to the Kendall Brown run out.
Brown handling here, size advantage, lost the handle. Gibson. Yeah, they get Thamba with the bump on the smaller Mo Gibson.
We mentioned Mo growing up here in Waco. He spent many a day over here in this gym playing pickup basketball with an assortment of current and former Baylor Bears. Great shooter, gym rat. Oh, they got him.
Oh, look at him, wide open, and Hill puts it in.
Good execution right there. They worked on that today at the shoot-around. And Porter Moser's going to play a little defense on that sideline now. And now a zone, 1-3-1. This is that chess match I talked about. Baylor worked against this today. There it is.
And the throwdown. Chalwa Chachua.
Poster! Terrific job of spreading the floor, and that ball was singing.
Chalwa Chachua out on the perimeter, forcing a turnover right there.
Head up. There it is.
Great look. Akinjo finding Sohan.
There haven't been a lot of turnovers, but they've been costly.
Yeah.
Really good job by James Akinjo. It didn't look like he saw Sohan, but he did, to your point, John, have his head up the entire time.
Ten-point game. Number 1 Baylor leading Oklahoma. Each of these teams 1-0 in Big 12 play. Both these teams have been shooting it well. Man, we talked about taking care of the basketball being so important. They get that block on Meyer right there.
Take a look right here. I don't think Matthew was ever set. Easy call for Chris Rassiter. He never got his feet set first in front of the offensive player. In my opinion, he was moving.
Yep. Meyer picks up his second. He'll take a seat. Baylor by 10. What about the shooting in this game? Oklahoma's shooting 75%, Baylor shooting 73%.
And these are two good defensive teams.
Groves, a 3. Gets it to go.
Tanner Groves, he may be 6'10", 6'11", but he's at his best away from the basket where he can shoot it and also pass it. They're at their best when they spread the floor 5 out.
Groves has 7. Oklahoma's an efficient offense. Top 10 in the country in field goal percentage. Shooting just a tick above 50% as a team on the year. There's Chachua from Akinjo.
That's a tremendous stop-start right there by Akinjo, using his speed to change direction. Watch John talk on defense too now. He's their defensive quarterback. Watch him.
Groves another. A little bit strong. Chachua rebounds. Akinjo down. Baylor by 9. And a turnover. Sooners back the other way. Emoja Gibson. And a carry. That's a turnover. Tonight on ESPN, tune in for the Tax Act Texas Bowl from NRG Stadium in Houston. LSU, Kansas State. Interim coach Brad Davis leading the Tigers against K-State star running back Deuce Vaughn. Coverage starts tonight at 9 Eastern, 8 Central on ESPN and the app. Baylor a 9-point advantage and the ball. Akinjo. And he gets shoved. Well, Tanner and his younger brother Jacob on the court right now. Those two mentioned that Kansas game. They lost to Kansas in the NCAA tournament last year. Those two combined, though, for 58 points. Tanner at 35, Jacob at 23. Jacob's got a bright future. Porter Moser was talking about kind of the swagger that he has.
Yes, yes. And they're going to hook up with Bill Self next Tuesday night in Norman. We're going to be there.
Yeah, we will.
Oh, nice ISO.
Sohan couldn't get it to fall.
I like pushing it against that defense before it's set.
Groves mid-range. Jumper wouldn't go. Chachua. Akinjo probing, flips it up, wouldn't go. Tip out. A good job on the offensive glass. Flagler now. And another tip. They do it twice. One of the trademarks for Scott Drew his entire time here in Waco. Great offensive rebounding teams. And Akinjo makes them pay. 2 tip outs, and it ends up with a deuce.
It's seemingly forever they're in the top 10, John. They get 4 out of every 10 missed shots back on the offensive glass. In college basketball, the average is 3. And that possession just manifests itself right there. Good D.
Harkless way downtown. Sohan the rebound. The lead is 11. Gibson puts it in.
You know, you always think this as a coach when you're down, just get it under 10, maybe a couple more stops, get it to 6 or 7, give yourself a chance. Nice.
Akinjo flips it up and in. Wow!
That was a design play, John. He's a right-hander who drives left 75% of the time. They took the postman away from the left post and gave him a driving lane. And we know that he can hit those floaters.
I love when you talk analytics to me. You know that. A right-hander that goes left 75% of the time.
Well, it's been mostly all Baylor tonight. Oklahoma shooting pretty well. Turnovers have hurt them. Take a look at the ball movement. Whatever you throw at them, they have an answer. Move it, catch it, dunk it. The game is simple, especially when this guy's your point guard, Akinjo.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball. Look at the renderings. Foster Pavilion. That'll be the brand new basketball facility just down on Brazos River, right across basically from the football stadium,
Yep.
Kenny Stadium, and that looks like it's going to be absolutely gorgeous, and they've certainly earned a new facility.
Yes, yes. The collaboration between the university and the city of Waco, and I have no doubt that Scott Drew is going to have a lot of memorabilia in his office.
Yeah, already does.
Yep.
Harkless now with Akinjo draped all over him. Shot clock winding down. Does Hill even see it? They go opposite. Cortez got to put it up. Shot clock violation.
Nope.
I don't know that there was awareness by any of the five.
I agree.
And a reminder coming up, E-Trade halftime report. And we got the Big 12 and the SEC in action. Look at the lead dogs in this conference. And then how about some first half stats and analysis, all coming your way. E-Trade halftime report.
Yeah, how good is this conference? Again.
Every year.
Yep.
Every year.
I asked Porter Moser at the shoot-around today about the strengths and weaknesses of Baylor. He said, when I worked for Rick Majerus, he always wanted to know first, how do we beat this team? Give me a couple ways to beat him. He said, I don't know if I could have told him that there's one way to beat this team. He said if there's a weakness, maybe it's because they don't really have a backup point guard. But that was nitpicking, he said.
Yeah.
He said that's nitpicking. You know, every year when we talk about the best teams in the country and we use those Ken Palm numbers, you've got to really be a team that's capable of being really good in top 25 offensively and defensively. They're 4 and 5 right now on offense and defense. And to your point, John, about the offensive rebounding and the defense, it's been that way for about a decade now.
Yep. Yeah, on and on it goes. It's just something, you come to Waco and you expect them to hit the offensive glass, just part of the culture here. Turnover. And now the turnover's starting to become a bit of a problem. Oklahoma leading the Big 12 on the bad side in turnovers. They turn it over the most in conference. They turned it over 9 times in this one on the baseline prior. And it'll go the other way.
LJ got a little bit out of control right there. As we mentioned, a young man, one of the most prolific players in the history of this state. And last year, John, you know, the average basketball fan doesn't even know who he is. I don't think anybody knows LJ Cryer was on the national championship team, and he'll end up being a star here.
Right. Gibson, and he's fouled. Thamba on that. Well, I mean, beyond that, how about just frame it in this question? Who's the leading scorer on the #1 team in the country?
It's a guy that comes off the bench.
Right.
Yeah. When we were talking to him yesterday, I said, was it frustrating last year? Because in the last 12 games, I think he played 19 minutes. And he said, it was, but I knew I was getting better every day because the guys I was playing against are going to be in the NBA. And Adam Flagler said when he transferred here the year after Butler, Teague, and Mitchell were here, he said, I couldn't get a shot off. I couldn't get a shot off in practice. But those guys obviously went to school on the 3 that are now playing in the league.
Yeah, it's how you learn, it's how you get better. While you're going through it, it's not always fun because you're getting your butt kicked in practice and then you're not getting on the court in the game.
Exactly.
I mean, again, it's relative. I mean, they came in here, got a chance to learn, and they've turned it into really good players.
And the #1 team in the country as of right now. Now, Saturday they ran a ghost screen. That means Thamba's going to run up and not screen but disappear, but I bet Oklahoma's ready for it. There it is.
Akinjo, hesitation, gets past Cortez, and it's rejected. And a shot clock violation. And it belongs to Oklahoma now with 6.2 seconds to go.
There it is. The screen's already disappeared. Here comes Akinjo, and good help right there is that Jalen Hill.
Checking into the game for your Bears, number 23, Jonathan
Psychologically, getting it under 10 would be absolutely huge.
Cortez, nice move, left hand.
There it is. Freshman.
Bijan Cortez with the bucket. And the Sooners needed that. So we go to break. And the Baylor Bears leading at 45-36. Standing by with Scott Drew. Here's Chris Button.
Coach, up 9.5. What did you think of your team in that first half?
Well, I thought offensively we did a good job getting shots. We did a good job on the glass. Defensively, way too many blow-bys, straight-line drives. So I think we were a little giddy. We were gambling, and we got to do a much better job being solid second half.
Defensively, you've gotten them to turn the ball more over towards the end of that first half. What do you need to see in the second half defensively?
Well, I think first and foremost, keep people in front of us. We do that, and then our depth hopefully will wear people down, and then we'll be fine.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Baylor by 9. Coming up after the break, we'll go to the studio. It's the Trade Halftime Report coming up. Zubin Mehenti, LaFonso Ellis, and Seth Greenberg. That's after this. Presented by Progressive. As Scott Drew honored at halftime, Mac Rose, their athletic director, is game ball for his 400th win at the half. 45-36, the number 1 team in the country, the Baylor Bears, in control. Courtside, John Shambi and Fran Fraschilla, and you talk about offensive efficiency, really both ways in this one, but the guards for Baylor were really a difference maker.
Yeah, and a year ago we talked about a set of guards that are now off to the professional ranks, but this set with Flagler and Akinjo leading the way, 26 between them, John. Adam Flagler, the transfer from Presbyterian, was a solid role player a year ago, and Akinjo, the transfer from Arizona, he has been the engine for this Scott Drew team that is back to being number 1, a place they are used to being over the last few years.
Those two guys, Akinjo, Flagler with 26 and shooting 11 of 16 from the floor. For more, let's send it over to Chris Budd.
Porter Moser told his team in halftime, you have to be okay playing physical. They're going to bump you when you go for a rebound, but you have to go after the ball. We've allowed them 11 second chance points. They have to get better on their ball screen coverage. And Fran, we know Moser likes to talk with some phrases. How about this one? Guard your yard is what he told them.
Yes, keep them in front of you. That's a great point. They have that culture wall that we'll bring to you during the season, and guard your yard is one of the shorthand terms for his defensive philosophy. Keep the ball in front of you.
I mean, if I told Porter Moser his team was going to shoot 68% in the first half, I don't think he would have believed me that he was going to be down 9.
Yep, some costly turnovers.
Gibson can't hit. Thamba rebounds.
Yeah, Mo came last year here and struggled coming back home, the Waco native. Now you got to get on the floor for that. Man, you got to die for that.
Flagler wide open and buries it.
Man, you have to get on the floor for a loose ball like that on the road against the number 1 team in the country.
Goldwire had it knocked away. It'll stay with the Sooners.
Watch this, John. This is good defense right there. Now dive on it. Get on the floor. Instead, Flo Thamba comes up with it, and it's 3. That'll be shown in the film room tomorrow, guarantee you.
5-second violation.
Scary part when you play Baylor, you saw this against Villanova, John. Creeping along, they're up 8, up 9, all of a sudden it can be up 19.
Yep. Akinjo probing, goes behind the back. Flagler, that floater, and that'll go. And Flagler with 18.
He has great footwork. He has educated feet. He did not run a defender over, and we talk about the floater game as high percentage for him.
Gibson kick out. Harkless got it.
Elijah hit 4 of those on Saturday night. He's already one of the best defensive players in the league. Transfer from Cal Northridge.
Had 21 in the win over K-State. And they're going to need him here in the second half to heat up a little bit more. Thamba from Akinjo. Jump hook. have been strong. Groves the rebound. And now Goldwire. He'll push. A little bit strong. Now Baylor back the other way, and they're up by 11.
Yeah, he was spooked by Kendall Brown, that 6'11" wingspan right there, Goldwire. Did everything right. Just babied it up there.
Kendall Brown has been quiet in this one. Shot clock at 5. Goldwire intercepts the pass. Sooners the other way. Harkless inside, and they get Meyer on the foul. And that'll be Meyer's third.
Watch the hands right here. And Elijah Harkless, a young man who played a year ago. Good call. A year ago for Juan Kruger after transferring. John, we were so impressed with his defensive effort. This year the offense is better. Comes from Etiwanda High School in California. Same school that produced Darren Collison. Played for a great high school coach who teaches toughness, and this kid's got all of that. He and Porter Moser have been joined at the hip since he decided to stay in Norman and play for Porter.
So Harkless at the line. Yeah, the rebound, Thamba, and that gets knocked away. Shagwa hits the floor.
That's what we're talking about.
The Sooners get it back, and then a back tap, and Baylor has it. Akinjo. Sohan can't save, out of bounds, and it's a little sloppy here in the early going.
And I think that's good for Oklahoma. They've got, like Porter told Chris at halftime, we got to get more physical. We got to be tougher. And when you're in a alley fight with the bully on the block, you've got to deliver punches. You cannot back down. People know what a block is. It's a street.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean.
It's
where I grew up, on a
fair
block.
point. Yeah, on a block. Yeah.
Nice.
Inside,
oh, sweet.
And Shagwa spins it home, and it sprints back on defense.
Quiet building right now. There it is.
6-0 run. Goldwire almost with a steal. Porter Moser loving the effort.
Remember, Jordan was all ACC defensive team as a senior for Mike Krzyzewski.
Sohan with the smaller Gibson on him. Into Brown. And Hill rebound. Sooners a chance to continue to chip away. It's an 8-point deficit. Out of bounds. And it's Baylor basketball.
Now this is the effort that I think you'll see in the film session tomorrow. Look at that right there. Good dime by Gibson. Little dipsy-do by Ethan Shagwar, the young man working on his master's degree now after 4 years at SMU in Dallas.
He's an Oklahoma kid.
Yep. He's a really good high school player.
And here he is stepping in the passing lane, the steal and the bucket, and count the basket.
That's physicality right there. Porter Moser asked for it. Watch Shagwar take his body into JTT's body. And this is how you do it. You do not back down from the bully. Take it right at him, and now finish strong through contact.
How about that? Ethan Shagwar.
And when we say bully, we mean figuratively.
Yeah, no, I get you.
He's tough. You got to be a little tougher.
It's a 9-0 Oklahoma run. And a 5-point game. And that effort you were looking for in the early portion of the second half, the Sooners delivering.
Yep. Good help.
Flagler lost the handle. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball. Note of Porter Moser, all that success he had at Loyola Chicago. 188 wins in the 10 years, of course, 2018, the Final Four trip, and then a Sweet 16 appearance. Lon Kruger stepping down and named Oklahoma head coach April 3rd, 2021. For more, here's Chris Budd.
Boog, and then he gets to Norman, and only 3 players on this roster were actually on campus. Harkless, Gibson, Hill, everyone else he had a recruiter get to know over Zoom. So that's incredibly tough, because when I would go into a recruit's house, if he was rude to his mom, I'd stop recruiting him. And now I have all these guys that I never met until this summer, and I have to figure out who's my leader, how am I going to make this team gel with all the personalities. Still a work in progress.
Meyer knocks down the shot. Yeah, he talked about the difficulty in terms of the connection that he seeks. He's a relationship guy.
Yep.
And man, did he have to do some work. They have 7 D1 transfers on their team, the most among Power Fives. And pretty incredible. Again, like Chris said, 3 guys he had.
What I like about the transfers is they've come from winning programs. Jordan Goldwire played 116 games, I think, at Duke.
Feed inside, Chum with Shachua couldn't hit. It'll go the other way. 7-point advantage. Baylor perfect 13-0.
When I talked to Joe Castiglione at halftime, the athletic director, we were catching up on football recruiting and quarterbacks and all those type of things, but he is absolutely ecstatic about the decision he made to hire this guy, because we all know in the coaching industry he is an outstanding basketball coach and a great human being.
Gibson kick to the corner, one extra pass. Nolan mid-range gets
Sweet.
it to go.
Yep, good-looking freshman. I said he was 30 minutes up the road in Waxahachie, and I got a text. Someone said, "You drive fast," but no, it's probably about 30 minutes south of Dallas, so it's somewhat halfway between. But I like this kid. He's tough as nails.
They're always going to get you on the geography, aren't they?
I know it.
Gosh. Akinjo pulls up, buries it. Akinjo now is 16. Flagler's got 18 to lead all scorers, but that dynamic duo, they've been the story. 34 of Baylor's 55, Akinjo and Flagler.
Good matchup. Can't do that.
Kick ball, and it belongs to Baylor. Jam-packed January sports calendar we got for you. NFL Week 18 doubleheader Saturday. National Championship game, Georgia and Alabama on Monday. We got Super Copa of the Australian Open, the first ever Monday night playoff game, and UFC 270. A little bit of everything this month on ESPN, ABC, ESPN2, and ESPN Plus.
And Tuesday we have Kansas at Oklahoma in Norman. You and I will be there, along with the great Chris Budden. Look at this, John. Look at this.
Akinjo gets another.
What he's great at is it's hard to shoot off the dribble. He and Flagler have perfected that. Great step back move.
And the crowd right back into it. The lead is 11.
Look at John guard the guards.
It's pretty amazing.
Yep.
Gibson wanders into the paint. Good feed to Groves, who flips it up and in.
Big basket. Crowd was starting to get into it. In a different kind of way, John. As good as I've talked about those guards that left, these guys are really, really, really good.
Sohan looking for some space. Gives it back to Akinjo. And a pull-up. Fight for the loose ball. Goldwire tries to save it. Sohan gets it. Loses the handle, but he's fouled. And Jeremy Sohan will go to the line and shoot 2.
Yeah, watch this, John. Watch his step back move now. drives it, he creates space, and that's just beautiful footwork, educated feet. Remember, this year it's not a travel. This is a legal move, that step back, and even if it was last year, that would not have been a travel. That was just great execution of what we love about offensive basketball, which is great footwork.
Third foul, Umoja Gibson. What a night for Akinjo. He's got 19, Flagler with 18. And
John, the last 5 games prior to tonight, Akinjo was averaging 18 and 6. He's at that number with 12 and a half to go, and he's perfect. He's a perfect transfer for this team. Kyle Lowry-like.
yeah, you mentioned, I mean, look, he's averaging 6.1 assists a game. He's got 4 here tonight. I mean, here we are. It's 12-11 to go in the game. Oklahoma's shooting 67% against one of the best defensive teams in the country, and they're down 10.
Well, as we've mentioned a couple times, the turnovers, when they have turned it over, it's led to some easy opportunities.
13 turnovers. That is one thing Porter Moser's team does not do a great job with, taking care of the ball. Gibson trying to take it right back, and they'll get a foul on Brown. 59-49 our score. Baylor on top. Defending national champs in college basketball. Yeah, that's right. Baylor Bears, #1. And then who will end up #1 in college football? Will it be Alabama? Will it be Georgia? That shot, that's everything.
It's going to be Georgia and Stetson Bennett.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. Stetson Bennett is not going to buy a drink the rest of his life in the state of Georgia, man.
All right, so it's Monday. It's Georgia, Alabama, #3, #1, 8 Eastern on ESPN. Our college football playoff national championship presented by AT&T at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. Pre-game coverage. It's on every platform, TV, radio, digital. So many ways to watch and listen. And there's Hill inside, gets the deuce.
As the great Vince Dooley would say, Georgia is going to win. Stetson Bennett, remember you heard it here.
All right.
Legend. The legend continues.
8-point game, under 11:30 to go. Sohan absorbs the contact, and Groves with the rebound. So both Tanner and Jacob out there. The brothers Groves for the Sooners. Goldwire probing, gets it to Hill. And Hill inside, no call. Sohan.
Yeah, he babied that. You got to go stronger than that, Jalen. That's that hustle we talked about right there.
And I think, did they go? Yeah, they go possession arrow, and it belongs to Oklahoma.
Checking into the game for your Bears, #10.
We're kind of lulled to sleep right now in this regard. Baylor's got an 8-point lead, but lots of time left. Little token pressure right now because I think Scott Drew does want to speed this tempo up a little bit. Are they going to go zone here? No, man. That is.
Groves to Groves. How about that? Good back cut there by Jacob.
Well, we said in the first half, at their best, it's 5 out with Tanner Groves handling the ball like a point center.
Lead down to 6. So Jacob's first 2 points of the game, pretty big.
Watch the footwork.
Thamba rebounds the Flagler miss. And Flo Thamba absorbs the contact. All right, how about Oklahoma brothers? So you got Tanner and Jacob, the 2 transfers. Washington. Remember those other guys? Yeah, Blake and Taylor.
Not bad.
But wait,
there's more.
Yeah, Wayman and William.
This is the greatest pair. No offense to Blake and Taylor, who are terrific, but Wayman Tisdale.
The late great
Wayman Tisdale, 3-time All-American. I think The freshman national player there. Watch this cut right here. You see 5 out, 5 space. The way they space the floor is when they're at the best. Yeah, Wayman Tisdale was a great musician, John.
Yep.
We heard him play often at the Fieldhouse, Lloyd Noble Center.
Crowd comes to life here at the Farrell Center. The lead back to 8. Hill kick out Goldwire. A little bit strong. Sohan rebounds. Brown to Akinjo. In and out, and Harkless the other way for Oklahoma.
That's good.
Nice move.
Yep.
Elijah Harkless.
I'll tell you who set that play up. Tanner Grove set it up because it looked like he was going to set a screen, and then he slipped out of it, and that opened up a driving lane. Good, smart basketball right there. The Oklahoma doing their share of switching now. And again, keeping the ball in front, guarding your yard.
Shot clock under 10. Akinjo. Akinjo into the paint, flips it up and in.
Man, that's great footwork right there.
21 for James Akinjo. And they get the block on Akinjo.
Let's go back to that offensive play by Oklahoma. Watch Groves. He's going to act like he's going to screen. Watch him leave early. And that opens up a driving lane for Elijah to take it right to the rim. Really nicely done. It looks like a screen. And, John, that's kind of what we call a go screen because the screener makes himself disappear, and all of a sudden you've got a driving lane. So the defense doesn't know whether to switch or not. Causes a little bit of confusion.
63-55, 9:03 to go. Both these teams 1-0 in Big 12 play. Oklahoma a win at home on Saturday over K-State. For Baylor, a tough start against number 8 Oklahoma State. They pulled out a win. Tip out, and that one tracked down there by C.J. Nolan. And Cortez travels. Dijon Cortez turns it over.
Freshmen, when they go side to side that way with the ball, it's almost always a travel. You have to shot fake and go play horizontally. Is that right? Vertically, really, instead of horizontally. That's what I meant. I got it. One of the two.
One of those.
Yep. Shot fake's better there.
Shot clock under 10. Flagler from the elbow. Flips it up. And a rebound pulled down by Hill. Sooners down by 8.
2 freshmen on the court for Porter Moser.
Nolan missed it all. Kansas won 30 in a row to open conference play. Oklahoma State done a pretty good job. Mike Boynton's group 6 of the last 8 against AP top 10, and Ochai Agbaji, the guy that leads their attack.
Yeah, the guy that wasn't highly recruited out of Kansas City, and for all the one and dones like Wiggins and Embiid that Bill Self gets, he does a great job of developing what I would say under the radar players into stars. How about Devontae Graham, Frank Mason?
Yep. Take away Goldwire the other way. Sooners, and Goldwire puts it in.
Hanging around, John. They're sleepwalking right now, Baylor. Number 1 team in the country. Somewhat going through the motions. Remember, they've won 67 out of 73 going back to 2019.
Joshua. Clock winding down. Flagler got to go here. And an offensive foul. We'll get that on Adam Flagler.
Good call, in my opinion. Good job by Mo Gibson staying with Flagler, who oftentimes does a great job of creating.
Inside, this is Hill. Left hand, too strong.
Didn't need to dribble. Should have went right up through Myers' chin.
Myers, step back three. And that's off the mark. Oklahoma with the basketball down by 6. Sooners giving the Bears all they can handle.
Poised. I think,
no doubt.
They've shown poise.
Hill fires.
Oh, another one. Good hustle.
Great tip out. Harkless thought about it. In and out. That would have been big.
Put a little more pressure on the Bears.
Baylor just won for their last 7. And Chachua puts it in and the foul.
That's what we call a short roll. When you feel pressure in the double team in a pick and roll, the big guy's got to open up and look early. You don't have time to get all the way to the basket. Watch him look right now. And there's the catch. Defender is late. And anybody who plays in pick and roll basketball or 5-out basketball at that spot, John, has got to be able to execute that short roll catch without running the defender over. You know, my players used to say, why don't we do footwork every day? I said, because we never travel. And they go, oh, okay. You know, it's these little things that Baylor does every day with their footwork, the guards, the bigs, that you see out on the court when you watch them play.
At the line, everyday John with one shot.
Chachua to the line, 74% free throw shooter. I love they drop an everyday John at the line.
Love it, man. I love saying his name.
Good putback. Look at Flagler, the little guy. I mean, relatively speaking, at 6'3", sneaking in and puts it home. The crowd back to life, and the lead is 10.
Back with Tanner Groves, looking to spread the court now. Well, this energizes this crowd. We talked about sleepwalking. Watch, Flagler, what he did was they X'd him, they crossed him from the right to the left. See where he's going? That's a set play. We call it an X move on a free throw. He goes from the right block, gets a screen, ends up on the left block, and even at 6'3", gets to put that
in. But again, that's something that coming into this game that Porter Moser was concerned about, the offensive rebounding of Baylor.
And there's a good example of offensive rebounding, not by accident, but by design.
Yep.
A set play off a missed free throw.
Grove gets another. Tanner Groves buries it.
John, we've seen Baylor. We've seen them blow out Villanova. We've seen them win on the road. I got to tell you, I've been impressed with Oklahoma.
Yes.
They're battling, and they're getting a lot out of their material.
Akinjo feed up ahead. Chachua rolls it home.
Effort. Great effort. Great find by Akinjo.
Cortez, the blow by, puts it home.
Just a freshman. Comes from Kingfisher, Oklahoma, about 70 miles northwest of Norman. Former state champion 2 times.
Turnover, Sooners basketball.
Look up.
Hill collects on the feed from Nolan, puts it in, and it's back to 6.
There's 2 players on the court for Oklahoma that played last year. 3 newcomers and 2 freshmen.
Groves takes it away. offensive foul on C.J. Nolan. Well, folks, Big 12 Now on ESPN Plus is a must for Big 12 fans. The documentary series Our Time back for another season. This year, go all access with the Baylor men's and women's basketball teams. Unprecedented behind-the-scenes looks at both programs. Never before seen footage and sound for players and coaches. Series premiere is this Thursday, January 6th. Sign up today, ESPNplus.com/Big12 Now. Closing in on the 4-minute mark. John Chomby, Fran Fraschilla, Chris Button. Baylor in a dogfight by 6 with the basketball.
Good matchup here. Harkless and Akinjo, two street fighters. Tough shot. Oh, Flagler!
Damba puts it in, and Flagler with the hustle tip play on the offensive glass.
He saw the air ball.
Foul on the Bears.
Well, he's scoring buckets tonight, but he's looking like Davion Mitchell here with the hustle. Watch the air ball, saves it, and Flo Thamba the recipient. Gotta love it. It's Big 12 time, John. We start all over again.
This exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. Visit progressive.com. Our game summary. Oklahoma hanging around, taking on the unbeaten and defending national champion Baylor Bears. Both teams have shot it well. Akinjo and Flagler have scored 41 of Baylor's 71. Oklahoma, Porter Moser said, we got to take care of the ball. They haven't really accomplished that part of it with 17 turnovers. But Tanner Gross and company giving good effort here in the second half, and they've showed a lot of poise.
They have, and they've forced 10 Baylor turnovers in the second half as well, John. And impressed with this guy, impressed what he's building. We mentioned it already, 7 transfers. Cupboard was bare. Got to give credit to Jalen Hill and Elijah Harkless, Mo Gibson. They could have walked out the door very easily. They stayed, have become key factors in this 11-2 start for Oklahoma.
Groves knocks him down. He's got 13.
Little fake pressure right here.
Akinjo going to work inside. Off the glass and good. He's got 23.
Remember I said he goes left 75% of the time? He's pretty good going right. Hands. Great hands.
Thamba the deflection. Baylor.
It's a great matchup, isn't it?
No doubt.
Here it is again.
Akinjo with Harkless on him. Under 3 to go. Shot clock is under 10. And they get the foul on Elijah Harkless. A reminder, we have ACC college basketball. Got a matinee for you. North Carolina and Virginia at the Dean Smith Center in Chapel Hill. Our Saturday showcase coverage starts at 1 Eastern on ESPN on the app. One app, one tap.
You and I are going to be in Lubbock Saturday to see the Jayhawks.
There we are. Offensive foul.
Harkless, in my mind, 4 of the best 6 or 7 defensive players in this league are in the game tonight. Harkless and Goldwire are 2 of them for the Sooners. And Akinjo and Everyday John would be right there with them.
So Akinjo picks up the foul, his second. Sooners need a score here. Goldwire a little short. Meyer rips away the rebound, and then a foul in Oklahoma.
And Goldwire just came up short.
Remember, what happened to Meyer earlier in the game. There's the smile, lost half a tooth. Now he's got the mouth guard.
You know, John, he's not shooting well. And the numbers, you know, I thought he might have a game where he'd get 40 this year. He doesn't need to do that for this team.
Yep.
But you saw him against Villanova. This kid he's grown up from shot a minute. Matt Meyer as a freshman.
Yeah.
I love his toughness and he's fearless.
And what about his hair?
I love the hair.
No doubt. Larry
Bird would love that hair.
Absolutely.
Bob Huggins would love that hair.
He is a big-time talent. I mean, you're talking about a guy that can jump through the roof and he can shoot. Hasn't shot it great, as you mentioned, this year.
Yeah, you could put him on the court right now with LeBron and whoever else in the pickup game. He would not care one single bit.
12 offensive rebounds for Baylor. That has been a huge factor in this game. Baylor just overall rebounding plus 16, 30-14, the rebounding advantage for Scott Drew's team. So he's got to be happy with that. They get the foul on Mo Gibson. So Umoja picking up his 4th.
Well, as you talk about rebounding, I think of Epe Udoh and Quincy Acey and Corey Jefferson, and the list goes on and on. But we once thought that Baylor developed big guys. Then they started developing guards. They've had 10 guys since he's been there. 10 point guards are on the Big 12 all-conference team since he got there. But then look at the wings. Torian Prince, Royce O'Neal. Now these two kids, Brown and Sohan.
And that jumper will go as Mo Gibson. They needed that. He's got 10, the Waco native. A big pass list, north of 30 tickets here to watch Mo Gibson play.
He's 125 pounds in 9th grade.
Flagler had it knocked away. Groves to Goldwire.
Got to push it. Score easy. Oh, what a play!
Meyer with the block. The other end.
That's what we talked about, man. Forget the scoring. Forget the shooting. Kids, he's a warrior. Mo Gibson was looking for space. He shot faked one defender out of position. Take a look right here. Shot fake. Oh, I can do this. No, you can't. That's 6'9". That's amazing.
It's a pretty special reverse right here, by the way.
Yeah, proper hand development. PhD right there with the spin. Remember his freshman year? You would put him in the game, and if he took 2 shots and missed them in the first 90 seconds, Scott Drew would just yank him. If he hit a couple, he'd leave him in for 4 minutes. No doubt he was frustrated the first couple of years, Matt Meyer, but
yeah, Meyer said he used to get really nervous playing in front of crowds, so he had to develop something that he could do pregame. So he meditates, he visualizes, because he didn't grow up with all this. His parents didn't play athletics, so being in front of this kind of crowd, kind of intimidating as he's learned to adjust to it.
I get it. I meditate before every Fran Fraschilla broadcast.
Just to get through it.
Into the front court. Baylor by 7. A lot of credit to Porter Moser's team hanging around and hanging around.
Yes, but again, the flip side of that is the poise of Baylor, just keeping a good team at bay. 11-2 Sooners.
Akinjo. Groves the rebound. Oh, good look. Gibson up ahead. Wow.
Nice.
Well done.
Yep. God, look at this.
And a turnover, and it's Oklahoma basketball.
Late in the Iowa State game, they got careless as well. What a pass by Tanner Groves. I know Ben Roethlisberger's retiring, but take a look at this arm. Right on the money. Woo.
I think Oklahoma's going to call timeout. They are. So 30-second timeout. We take it with them.
Player of the Year conference season about to begin for KU.
Remy Martin, he's found a great balance between being aggressive and attacking and using his scoring ability and getting others involved. And he's got great wing players in Brown and Agbaji.
Pokes haven't played a game since December 18th. They're back too. Back to you.
Guys, thanks. And right here, 50.1 seconds left. Baylor by 5. Last time it was this close, 26-21.
And what you have right now is a perfect example of special situations in basketball. Can Oklahoma manufacture a quick 2 or 3 and make this a 1-possession game with a basket and not waste a lot of clock?
They hit Groves, now Harkless. Goldwire going to work. Gibson had a good look at it. The shot was deflected.
Yep.
And it ends up with Akinjo, and Flo Thamba getting a piece. So in the late stages of this one, Mo Gibson, a couple of his jumpers getting deflected.
John, this was a great set play because they set a flare screen, and Flo Thamba smart enough at 6'11" to challenge this shot and switch out. And this is a kid we watched as a freshman and a sophomore. And with all due respect for this young man, I don't know he would have done that 2 or 3 years ago, but he started every game last year on the title team, and he's like one of those veteran NBA big guys.
That angle from straight on, it reminded me, remember Hakeem Warwick at the end of the national championship
Michael
game
Lee.
against, right?
Yeah, 2003. Yep, New Orleans. Hakeem now coaching in the G League with that Ignite team.
Yeah, it's a good block by Thamba.
John, that was a great play. If they make the 3, it's a 2-point game.
Absolutely. What a good night for James Akinjo. Better than good.
Yep.
Leads him with 5 assists. He's got 26 points to lead all scorers, and the Bears up 7.
Let's watch this play. Flo Thamba is going to smell out a flare screen to the corner, and there he goes. And if Gibson has a good look and makes that shot, it's a 2-point game. Watch this. You know, we say this, John, often, but it really fits today. You know, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmys and the Flows.
Wow. Wow. I can't even imagine how long you've been waiting to get that one out. That was everything. Goldwire inside, spins it off the glass.
Got to trap quick and then foul. Can't let time go off the clock.
And timeout Baylor. 79-74, 30.1. Thamba was in a precarious position, was sort of falling out of bounds near the baseline.
And I think Flagler was the guy that signaled to the officials, and they're gonna take this ball out of bounds in the deep corner on the baseline. And Scott Drew just asked the officials, where am I taking it? You can see right now they've kind of set up in that deep corner. They cannot run the baseline, and they have to take it out deep, and you don't practice this very often. If you're Oklahoma right now, you set up this pressure. I bring 5 players over midcourt and dare them to throw it long.
Okay.
Because if they throw it out of bounds, you get it back here.
Yep.
And if it does come in bounds, it's got to be a quick trap, rotate up and try to steal it, then foul.
So we'll see what Scott Drew has in mind.
Let's see who takes it out of bounds.
It looks like it's going to be Kendall Brown. And they put Flo Thamba all the way at the other end of the court, so they're really spaced out here.
Yep, and if I were Jalen Hill, I'd move towards midcourt and dare him to throw it long.
Brown trying to find help. Another timeout.
Oh, boy. Fortunate. This is exactly what happened in Ames. They had to twice call timeouts. Once was a violation, but twice late in the game, this exact situation happened. Now, John, to me, I love Kendall Brown. He's going to be in the NBA next year. We watched him. He did not look comfortable.
Yes.
He did not look comfortable.
And by the way, they have no more timeouts.
That's right.
Now a look at the respective huddles. Baylor, #1 team in the country. They are perfect 13-0. Oklahoma at 11-2 so far this season. And the Bears and Sooners at the conclusion of this one. We'll send you out to Stillwater, and Bill Self's team will be trying to pick up a win on the road.
Back at his alma mater, Oklahoma State.
Yep.
Mike Boynton's team has been paused since before Christmas. Anxious to see what they look like. Bill Self added 2 games to the schedule last week, Nevada and George Mason, and they sold out both.
It's amazing.
But not surprising, right?
Not at all.
Yep. Allen Fieldhouse. Let's watch now. Who's going to take it out?
Going to be Kendall Brown again.
Yep.
They move Thamba up.
Now, they like to throw the home run ball, but I would dare them to throw it if I was Oklahoma. There it is.
There it is. Long pass.
And that's what can happen.
Oh, and they got it to Flagler, and then the foul.
Oh, man. Scott Drew loves to run that little home run play. There's the pass. Look how close Oklahoma gets to intercepting it.
Wow, Cryer did an amazing job of not stepping on the baseline. I don't think he stepped on the sideline. Wow, 2 shots here. Flagler with 20 points. Adam Flagler gets the first 81% free throw shooter.
Man, how good is he? He had no scholarship offers coming out of Duluth, Georgia, except the Presbyterian Blue Hose. Freshman of the year in that league. Transferred here as a sophomore, went up every day against the Big Three, and was a part of that championship a year ago.
Yeah, he was their 6th man.
Yeah.
He was the guy that could ignite them off the bench. Flagler and Akinjo combining for 48 points. Goldwire, Hoist can't hit. Akinjo rebounds and is fouled. And James will march down to the other end, and he's going to have a chance to set a career high. He's at 26. His career high is 27.
Well, because of the super senior rule and the extra year, Flagler can be back. Cryer will be back. Akinjo could even be back, although he'll probably explore NBA opportunities. And Langston Love is sitting over there on the bench, the freshman who tore his ACL in October. One of the best guards in America a year ago in high school.
(81-74). Akinjo missing the first. And ties a career high with 27 points. So the Baylor's going to sneak out of here with a win. But I think a pretty impressive display by Porter Moser's team.
Best league in the country again this year. Been 1 or 2 the last 8 years in the Ken Palm rankings. And Porter Moser rebuilding Oklahoma after the great career of Lon Kruger. Is not going to be an easy place to win when you go to Norman.
Tanner Groves with his 5th, so he is done.
Checking into the game for Oklahoma, number 15.
Yeah, I think that's spot on what you said. It's just now, I mean, you think about even Iowa State picked last, and
ooh.
I mean, they're in.
John, they look Saturday like an NCAA tournament team.
Sure.
You know, after being picked 10th. They gave Baylor everything they could handle, as Oklahoma has done tonight. And how about the improvement of Flo Thamba? If you remember, John, Tristan Clark was the guy that was supposed to be the guy 4 years ago when this guy was a freshman. He got hurt. They changed their system and went to a four-guard offense, and he started to play a little bit, Thamba.
And that will do it. Baylor hangs on to win it 84-74 in the final for Fran Fraschilla, Chris Button, and our entire outstanding crew. I'm John Sciambi. Thanks for joining us here.